Hi everyone, welcome. My name's Bachi. I'm an alum of the Romemu Yeshiva, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys today in our daily sit, which is a program of the Romemu Yeshiva. So whether you're here in Zoom or watching this today or another day on YouTube or Facebook, welcome. It's good to be here in the new week. I received the news earlier today that a great teacher of ours has passed on, Thich Nhat Hanh, Baruch Dayan Emet. I don't even feel qualified to sum up who he is and what he's meant to so many, but he was a Zen master and activist who affected many, many, many people, including myself. And I have one of his books with me right now, No Mud, No Lotus, that has served me over the past few years in my introduction and deepening exploration of mindfulness. So I want to offer a little bit of his words to guide our practice today, if that's okay with everyone. But first we can start with the Parsha. This week, this coming Shabbat, we'll read Parshat Mishpatim. And there's a moment amidst the giving over of this first set of laws, of rules to the nation that just experienced theophany at Mount Sinai, they get this set of very tangible, practical, interpersonal laws, many of them just governing interpersonal human relationship ethics. And amidst all that, God at one point says, "V'atem tihiu li mamlechet kohanim v'goy kadosh." You shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, a holy people. And the Kutzker Rebbe zooms in on that word, goy kadosh, holy people. And the quote I have from him here says that God has no lack of sublime angels, seraphim, or holy beings. What God longs for is the holiness of people. In that ultimate moment of transcendence, of miraculous experience of divinity, God makes sure to remind us to remain grounded in our humanity, not try to transcend it, but instead to try and be fully human. I learned this insight from another book that I have in front of me called Nir Et Or, which is Illuminations on the Weekly Torah portion, so citing my sources. But that call to be fully human feels incredibly connected for me with the Torah, the teachings I've learned from Thich Nhat Hanh. And he explains how he takes it even one step further, reminding us of our oneness with nature. In our humanity, we're also the same as nature. So I'll start by reading about a flower. If you look deeply into a flower, you see that a flower is made only of non-flower elements. In that flower, there is a cloud. Of course, we know a cloud isn't a flower, but without a cloud, a flower can't be. If there's no cloud, there's no rain and no flower can grow. You don't have to be a dreamer to see a cloud floating in a flower. It's really there. Sunlight is also there. Sunlight isn't flower, but without sunlight, no flower is possible. So it's a fact that a flower is made only of non-flower elements. A flower can't be by herself alone. A flower can only interbe with everything else. Everyone knows we need to have mud for lotuses to grow. The mud doesn't smell so good, but the lotus flower smells very good. If you don't have mud, the lotus won't manifest. You can't grow lotus flowers on marble. Without mud, there can be no lotus. It is possible, of course, for us to get stuck in the mud of life. This is where I feel he begins talking about what it means to be human and to suffer. It's easy enough to notice mud all over you at times. The hardest thing to practice is not allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by despair. When you're overwhelmed by despair, all you can see is suffering everywhere you look. You feel as if the worst thing is happening to you. But we must remember that suffering is a kind of mud that we need in order to generate joy and happiness. Without suffering, there's no happiness. So we shouldn't discriminate against the mud. We have to learn how to embrace and cradle our own suffering and the suffering of the world with a lot of tenderness. So that's what I want to bring us to today as we begin our sit. It's the simplest of instructions, words that Thich Nhat Hanh has given me, using our breath to come back home to ourselves, to our body, to an awareness of the tension, the pain, the stress in our body. And if we can just, as he says, bathe it with the energy of mindfulness, mindful awareness, then that is being in touch with our humanity, and that is the beginning of healing and happiness. So I'll ring the bell and offer a couple more simple instructions. Our first step in this process, using our breath to come into touch with our body, is simply this. Breathing in, I know suffering is there. Breathing out, I say hello to my suffering. Breathing in, I know suffering is there. Breathing out, I say hello to my suffering. We can explore this mantra for the next few minutes. So we breathe in and out, acknowledging our bodies, coming into relationship with our suffering, that basic fact of human suffering. It doesn't have to be complicated suffering. It also can be. Whatever it is, it's kind of marvelous. Something that I've taken to heart from Thich Nhat Hanh is just how simple the act of mindfulness can really be. There's one passage that expresses it to me. He says, breathing mindfully isn't something hard to do. You don't have to suffer while breathing. You're already doing it all day long. You don't need to struggle to control your breathing. You just allow yourself to breathe in naturally while focusing your attention on your in-breath. It's like the morning sunshine on a flower that has closed overnight. The sunshine doesn't interfere with the flower. The sunshine just embraces and subtly permeates the flower. Embraced by the energy of the sunshine, the flower begins to bloom. So as we continue in our sit, I invite you to feel this mindful awareness, this mindful energy that you bring to your breath, that brings you back home to your body, to your sense of your humanness, your holy humanity, as is asked of us by divinity. And you can stay with the mantra of breathing in, I know suffering is there. Breathing out, I say hello to my suffering. I have another one I want to offer. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I smile. Thich Nhat Hanh says, take a few moments to inhale and exhale deeply and just touch a little happiness. If you want to experience what the end of suffering will feel like, it is in the here and the now with this breath. We have about 7 more minutes in our sit. My apologies for the accidental additional bell. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I smile. We come into our final minute of this sit. Let's just come back home to our bodies one last time within the container of this sit. I hope for us that we'll remember that sweet, simple, mindful awareness throughout our day and feel the smile that each breath can bring us. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I smile. Thank you all for coming today. I hope to see you again here tomorrow with Rabbi David Ingber leading us. Have a holy and human day.